saying before 2022, something has to be done.
Former President Donald Trump may have been banned from sites like Facebook and Twitter, but his interviews with right-wing media where he continues to repeat the big lie are giving some of his supporters the false hope that the 2020 election could still be overturned.
Stay tuned for Arizona. A lot of people are watching Arizona. You know, we need two states.
The former president pointing to a highly criticised Republican-led audit in Arizona as one way to overturn the election.
It's going to be a very interesting time in our country. It's going to be a very interesting time. You understand what that means, because it will be, how do you govern when you lost? How do you govern when you lost? So,
on the social media site Telegram, comments like these are sparking excitement among his supporters. Trump knows what happens. Biden administration will be removed. We, the people, will take action. He just told us things are about to get very ugly all over America. These thugs aren't going to take this news very well. Be prepared. Telegram has become popular among some Trump supporters and QAnon followers since companies like Facebook began to crack down more on misinformation.
Telegram is both an encrypted chat app and something of a social network. It's been around for years, and more recently, MAGA, QAnon, and others have gravitated towards this as a platform, moving towards it as they move away from Facebook and other major platforms like Twitter.
And there's very little rules on Telegram, right?
Telegram is built around trying to resist monitoring and censorship, which means that many groups gravitate towards it for those very reasons.
There are groups on Telegram with tens of thousands of members dedicated to the QAnon conspiracy theory, and the platform is now a source of concern among law enforcement who fear, in the wake of January 6, it could incite further violence. 3 congressional sources tell CNN's Jamie Gangel.
A lot of the success of the country is really going to have to do with immediacy, because by the time we get to 2022, they're going to have everything done. The way they're putting things through Congress, McConnell can't stop anybody. He can't stop anybody. If something doesn't happen fast, this is before 22.
The reaction on Telegram: he doesn't have to wait until 2024, people. He's coming back this year. Everything is going to be reversed, says one user. It's a great day when we start seeing evidence of the plan coming together. He just told us it won't be long now, says another. And last weekend, when Trump's former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn appeared to suggest there should be a military coup here in the United States, one prominent QAnon peddler who has more than 70,000 followers on Telegram wrote, "General Flynn says the quiet part out loud." Flynn later denied he had suggested a coup.
It is very concerning for people who tracked ISIS to watch the growth and excitement around Telegram in the far and extreme right, because a lot of us ask this question, oh no, are we back in a situation where this is going to be a really difficult problem to address?
Former Republican Congressman Denver Riggleman, who has a background in the military and intelligence, says he fears the conversations happening online now could lead to future violence.
You're seeing this same thing that happened over years and years, with foreign terrorist organizations. It's the same type of methodology. All the things that you see that can radicalize people based on the fact that this is a war between good and evil. And if there's a war between good and evil and there's no middle ground, you're willing to do things other people aren't to make sure that you win. And that's when you see radicalized violence.
And Aaron, Telegram did not respond to CNN's request for comments. A couple of things to point out here. Our colleague Evan Perez, speaking to other law enforcement officials, say there are concerns not just about Telegram, but about the general conversation, both online and offline, around this whole idea of overturning the 2020 election. And of course, it's important to mention that, a lot of Trump supporters, QAnon followers, gravitated to these new platforms like Telegram since Facebook and Twitter belatedly began cracking down on misinformation. So this is a whole new challenge. How do you handle, speech like this on platforms that are not the big Silicon Valley giants? And finally, of course, as you can see with those comments there on Telegram, the followers on these platforms hang on every single word the former president says.